Hi, my name is Matthew Baldwin, and thanks for joining this discussion today on innovation within the media and entertainment industry. We've assembled a panel of industry experts who will share innovation trends and current use of emerging technologies. There's a lot to discuss, so let's get right into it by introducing our panelists. First, we have Jagdeep Singh. He's a Vice President of Oracle Cloud Platform. Mark Rekmilovich, he's a Senior Director of Oracle Blockchain. And Siddharth Pandey, he's a Vice President, Oracle Integration. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. I really do appreciate it, as well as our listeners. To the panel, how is emerging technologies impacting the media and communication industry? Things as blockchain, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence.
So I would say we see a few different trends. We see direct content distribution is certainly revolutionizing how a lot of content is being accessed by consumers, but it also brings in challenges in tracking the intellectual property, tracking and distributing royalties, and so on. So we see an interest in adopting blockchain technologies in that space to support the direct content distribution models. We also see a much more complex advertising supply chains, if you will, ad tech spend emerging, where you have a number of different organizations involved, from the brand that wants to place advertising through a number of brokers, a number of other organizations, until ultimately it reaches the media companies that's going to display it somewhere online or TV, etc. So the advertising supply chains need to get much more real time, and we see a lot of emerging technology being used to support the integration of data using blockchain in particular for financial and media transactions, whether it's budget, spend, actual placement, impressions, and getting all of that information back for reconciliation and settlement purposes. A lot of the ad tech technology is now changing to accommodate much more complex and longer supply chains. And finally, we see a lot of interest in data sets that are coming with audience metrics, right? So a lot of providers are collecting audience metrics, and they want to trade the data. So data trading, data as a service offerings are emerging as well, that are going to make audience metric data sets available to a lot of different advertisers and brands who want to be able to dissect the data, analyze it, and then use it to drive their own advertising strategies.
From my vantage point, I see the consumer is becoming king, right? With all the proliferation of media and entertainment assets, everything becoming digital and online, the consumer is in a driving seat right now, right? And he's always connected. He or she is always online, always looking for something, right? That's one key aspect of it. And with that, there's a lot of AI, machine learning that plays in because of the lot of data. So everybody's looking for personalized content. What content should go to this person? That's basically being driven by AI. There's a lot of personalized advertisements. As people are looking to monetize their content, it's a lot of personalized advertisement, right? And as I'm even trying to subscribe to media, subscribe to channels, it's all driven by AI and ML. So I personally, from that vantage point, see AI, ML playing a big, big role, trying to get all that data that is being generated by every click, every time somebody goes and logs in, what my personalized habits are, and driving that towards consuming that. And I'm sure, Siddharth, you're seeing the same thing from
I think data is key for success in terms of, like, if you look at media industry, right? Like, there's a lot of innovation happening. There are a lot of disruption happening as well. So one thing that we see is, if you look at even from one additional trend that we are noticing in the similar line is around IoT. So we have all these set-top boxes. Around 97% households in US have set-top boxes, right? And in general, like, in terms of media and generating revenue for media businesses, customer loyalty is key, right? So you want to retain and you want to extract as much value out of your customers as possible. So you want to increase your customer lifetime value. And for that to happen, all the data that you are gathering from set-top boxes, right, it becomes very important for monitoring. So you want to make sure that if anything wrong is with the customer, or if the set-top box is not working, you should be able to proactively react to it, right, before even the customer finds out. And that's where integration platform really plays a crucial role. We have support for streaming analytics. We can integrate data across the platform from various applications and provide a single pane of glass for monitoring, right? So I think it's a very complex environment. That's what we see with our customers. Our product gives our customers a entire set of capabilities where you can connect all these applications, bring data together in one place, and then make the data available with Insight, which is our analytics offering, where you have a single pane of glass with key metrics. You can see what are the problems happening at a specific point and then go and fix it proactively. So I think IoT is another trend that we are seeing a lot in this space specifically.
Well, just a follow-up question on that. In terms of grabbing and getting the data from, for example, from set-top boxes, but we also have to be able to connect to the back-end systems as well. And so it's a continuum, actually, is what you have. And so
exactly. So we see that a lot of large media companies, they have legacy systems, right? And you see a hybrid environment where, so one of the core competency of Oracle integration portfolio is hybrid integration. So if you have multiple on-prem applications and if you want to adopt all these SaaS applications, cloud SaaS applications, we can provide you a very easy to use product where you can quickly go and integrate these applications and serve your business use case. The business use case could be around making sure your ERP flows are like normalized, right? Making sure that your customer support flows are properly tracked. And on top of that, from business exec point of view, they want to see how the entire system is operating end to end. And that's where Insight, Analytics, all the core offering that we provide with the product is really helpful for our customers as well.
Right, and there's a lot of need for innovation in this industry. The old players are meeting these new players, the Netflixes of the world, and there's a lot of disruption happening. So it's leading to a lot of new business models, if you will. How do I monetize the content I have? Right, and at the same time retain the customers that I have. So these are the two problems in which the world is working for these companies. It's basically grow, innovate, or die. That's the paradigm these guys are living in. And from that perspective, they have to use the data that they have, draw value out of that data, try to bring it all together, right, and use machine learning, use technology to personalize that content. That's where we see this world going from that perspective.
And they need to ensure that the data that's coming in, that they get from all of the third parties, because again, it's a very integrated industry in many respects, has a provenance, the data quality, et cetera, that they expect. Exactly. And so this is where integration of silos across different networks, typically using blockchain for real-time data integration, single source of truth, shared ledgers, is helping them to ensure that the data they're using as part of the analytics they're doing, as part of the models that they're running, is actually valid data, right? And it has a right provenance, right data quality attributes that they can trust.
So what you're seeing then is really, and I would agree, is saying I need to be able to retain customers. I need to, I need to have customers and retain those customers and provide them with additional compelling services and basically seamless interaction with the media content that I have. But you also see kind of a trend where other companies who have not been traditionally media companies engaging into this world here. So I think that's that's changing the field as well. Any comments in that area?
Right, and I'll add to that. Right, not only just you need to retain that customer, you need to monetize that customer. So you need to be able to personalize both the content and the advertisements, and also show the value of that advertisement to that customer base. Right, ultimately the advertiser is looking for ROI on his investment, and you need to be able to
those impressions as well, right? Going back to the advertiser, to the brand, whoever's actually spending the budget on that, and ensures that as it goes through half a dozen different players, each one is properly tracked.
Right. How do I place the ad, and then how is that, and then how is it paid for, and then how do I know all the other elements?
All the reconciliations, because today a lot of that's happening in the batch environment, and you usually have to take somebody's word for it. You don't have a true verified methodology of actually saying, yes, this is valid, this particular ads have been seen by this particular people or whatever. However, you're measuring that today, you don't have that visibility, and that's something that a lot of players are asking for.
Well, that's great.
One more thing I want to add is you want to surface more and more services for your target customer, right? And that's where having a complete customer 360 view of your consumer or customer is key for these media companies. You will see that even the consumption behavior, right? Like when you are consuming one service from a particular provider, they will surface a bunch of other offerings right inside the product for you to easily consume and sign up, right? So that kind of experience through chatbots, through AI is really becoming prevalent now.
And
than
you
ever
need to
before.
simplify that, right?
Right.
With all the complexity of all these new services and all these new offerings, you need to simplify that for a consumer. From a consumer perspective, I need it to be as simple as saying something into a chatbot and that service coming up, right? So that simplification plays hand in hand with the complexity and bringing it online at the
And
same
then
time.
bringing the enterprise all together holistically so that you can report and
And
operate
feed it
properly.
ultimately back to the ERP systems
Exactly.
that ultimately ends up dealing with reconciliation, settlement of the financials.
Exactly.
Well, gentlemen, thank you. Our time's up. I appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Matt Baldwin. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you in the future.